Go.
Hi, my name is Jiya and I will be participating in the 14 to 17 age category, and my speech is Life After the Pandemic. Now, just 2 months ago when we actually were going to physical school and not online school, my least favorite subject was always history. Now, there was no particular reason for this. I just hated the idea that we had to learn about things all the way from the past, like from the 1500s, that had literally no relevance on what was actually happening in the world today. However, a couple weeks ago, I realized that my mindset was completely wrong. In fact, we are legitimately living in a global pandemic that is a historical event. In fact, who knows if 20 years along the line, my children are going to be asking me about what happened in the 2020 coronavirus pandemic, and I can proudly say that I was actually alive during that time, even if I didn't want to actually be. However, we can see that this coronavirus pandemic has made such a large impact on the world that leads us to what is actually going to happen after this pandemic is over. Or how is the world going to change after we're done with staying at our homes all the time? So today let's explore just that by taking a look at the economic, the environmental, and finally the humanitarian aspects of what's going to happen after the pandemic is over. So first, let's take a look at the economic standpoints of this virus. Now, as we can see, currently we are living in a current recession where the fact that two of the greatest oil producers in the entire world, Saudi Arabia and Russia, are facing an all-time low, where the price of oil used to be $50 a barrel has now gone down to the point where it's about $15 to $20 a barrel. We can clearly see that the economy has been dropping, and it's not for the better. However, after this pandemic is over, when businesses start to slowly open up again, we can hope that for the best, that the economy will slowly start to rise a little bit higher. However, we don't know if this is actually going to be happening at a faster pace, as during this pandemic, humans, whenever they go to the supermarket and go to the stores, they're starting to become more aware of what they're actually buying. In fact, it's not likely that humans are going to actually start to pay lots of money for 30 giant rolls of toilet paper when they could just pay for about just the amount that they need. We can see that humans are becoming more aware of their surroundings and more aware of what necessities they actually need, that after the pandemic is over, hopefully we can keep using these traits in the future and apply for it after the pandemic is over as well. Next, let's take a look at what the environmental standpoints are and how the environment will change after the pandemic is over. Currently, we can see that the environment is actually thriving we're using less amounts of cars, where there's less amounts of giant corporations that have been running and the factories that have been running. The amount of carbon emissions and overall fossil fuels that are in the air have been starting to drop, leading for the world to become a better place. Now we can see that with the environment is actually starting to thrive, hopefully we can say the same will happen after the pandemic is over. However, this sadly might not happen. As people and humans are very reluctant to start to go out in the world, they're going to need cars for that. And when they're going to have to go out and buy more things, we're going to need factories for that as well. Seeing the way that our world works might just go back to the same cycle that it was before, leading for some bad news, but it is something that we should accept. So we should make the amount of changes that we want right now while the pandemic is going on, before waiting for after when we all go into the world and use more cars as there were before. Finally, let's take a look at the humanitarian standpoints. Now, humans have been living in this giant shelter-in-place, meaning that pretty much the only people that they've been talking to, or should be talking to, is their family and people that they live with. So what we should be doing is pay more attention to our social skills. Now, it might seem that humans will actually have to meet their old friends over again, because it's like they haven't met them in several different months. So humans should start to embrace their social skills right now instead of waiting for it to happen when the pandemic is over. Now, the world isn't a perfect place, but it's more likely that we forget about the past and the history and more on the future. Thank you.